Welcome back, friendo. And if you're new here, congratulations. I think you're going to enjoy yourself. I make a video every morning with my coffee. This channel's gonna be huge, and I'm never gonna sell out to bullion dealers or mining companies. Doesn't that sound nice? There, that looks good. Oh, if you would, hit that like button, please. People keep asking me all the time. It's insane. They keep asking me how I invest in silver. I put my hand on my chest. I look shocked. I'm like, you talking to me? Who told you I invest in silver? I don't invest in silver, okay? It's not like I'm trying to flip it or get rich overnight. No, absolutely not. You see, I don't invest in silver. I save in silver. Big difference. Big difference. Huge. It's a different mindset altogether. Now, I'm sure you get it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. And I'm also sure you know the struggle is real. So let's talk about the struggle. Yesterday's first, Brandon. Way to go. Let's go, Brandon. First class thousandaire. Okay, so why am I saving in silver? I'm so glad you asked. But I got a question too. Why would I stuff all these filthy fiat promissory notes in a bank? If you answered to pay a bill or pay down a credit card, ding, 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 that's the correct answer. Is there any other reason? Maybe keep a small buffer in there to avoid overdraft fees. And I gotta say, I see no reason to put it in a savings account. What do you get? A fraction of a percent each year? Not even a whole percent? As if 1 whole percent would even be enough. No, it would not. Now, we all know when you purchase silver, you're probably paying a premium. And if you turn around and sell it anytime soon, well, you lose in most cases. Now, they can happen. Sometimes you just need some cash. So I keep a little cash around as a buffer. I got a credit card I've been using as a buffer too. But I've been tightening that up, and I'm gonna make some more rules for myself when it comes to using that card. I'm only human. I got a little carried away here and there. But I know how bad it can get, and I'm not gonna let it get that bad. It's a real double-edged sword, that credit card. I use it to pay my utilities and car insurance. I pay those bills on my card each month in order to raise my credit. I want to make sure I'm nice and ready when it's real estate time. Another reason I save in silver is because my willpower, it can be weak sometimes. And it only needs to be weak sometimes in order to ruin a pile of cash or to rack up that card bill. I think we all know about impulse spending. It happens. But it happens more so with fast cash and credit. Silver is slow money. It takes time to cash it in. You may not even want to cash it in because you'll take a loss. There's going to be some considerations. You're going to think about what you want to impulsively buy more than you would if you were using a card or cash. I mean, who impulsively spends their silver? Have you even heard of such a thing? I haven't. In the past, maybe I needed a car or a car repair, and I would cash some silver in. If silver gets spent, that's about how it happens. I buy a little silver each week. I try not to buy it too fast. Hold on, how do you buy silver too fast? I'm sure you already know, friendo. You're pretty smart. But let me talk at you anyway. I do what's called unit cost averaging or price cost averaging. I do both of those. They are different things. Price cost averaging would be, okay, I'm going to spend $50 a week on, say, silver dimes or whatever you like. I actually cost average Bitcoin. I buy $51.99 worth each week. It comes out of my bank account automatically. That's also another example of price cost averaging. I spend the same amount of filthy fiat on the same investment on a schedule over time. And if you add up the price you paid for the amount you got each time and divide it by the amount of purchases you made on your schedule, boom, you got your cost average. And I find when you cost average, you don't get caught with your pants down over the price. It's true, it's a bit of a conservative or defensive way to buy into something, but it's just my baseline. I'll speculate too a little. Like if the price of silver suddenly dropped very low, well, I may see it as an opportune time and spend a larger portion than I normally would, while maintaining my regular purchases. So the drum beat never stops, but the tune can change from time to time. What about the unit cost averaging? How is unit cost averaging different from price cost averaging? For quite a while, I didn't know the difference. So instead of focusing on spending the same amount of filthy fiat on an asset on a regular schedule, instead, the focus is on units acquired regardless of the cost. An example being, I buy an old silver dollar each week. The price may go up or down, but I still buy a whole silver dollar, 1 unit. From what I understand, unit cost averaging over time is not as good as price cost averaging. I still got to get my head around it a bit more. But either way, I want my silver dollar each week. And I want my gold coin every 6 months. And if it starts to become impossible, then I know my job is not keeping up with the drumbeat. So I kind of use those purchases as an indicator for whether or not my earnings are keeping up with inflation. And I gotta say, after that last gold purchase, well, I'm kind of on high alert. Wile E. Coyote is back to the drawing board. All right, I gotta get ready to wrap it up. I'm going to the LCS today. I'm gonna look for some Mercury dimes and ponder what I want my cost average for them to be. So my purchases don't get out of control. Because when it comes to Mercury dimes, well, I get out of control. And I got some other responsibilities right now, so I don't want to buy them too fast. The struggle is real, but I believe it's worth it. And the future will be bright because of it. I may not invest in silver, but when I get returns on investments, you better believe I take some of that profit and I save it in silver. Silver is tangible, honest money. I can hold it. I don't need a password or an app to access it. You know, I write down my passwords, but when I go back, sometimes it's different. What the Anyway, there's no third party, no counterparty risk, no bank needed. I don't like going in the bank. It smells like the perfume section at the Kmart. But you know, silver is historical wealth. It's been money for thousands of years. Kings, empires, and civilizations trusted silver. And so do I. When currencies collapse, and they do, silver buys things. It's like insurance. You don't know when or if you're going to need it, but you're probably better off having it. Silver keeps me grounded. Stacking silver gives me peace of mind. It's quiet, it's steady, it's mine. No flashy charts, just slow and steady stacking, like filling a savings jar. Although I don't mind flashy charts, but I just prefer to look at flashy charts on other things. Things I could earn more silver on. You know, like investments. Every ounce is a step closer to security. I'm not stacking to get rich. I'm stacking so I'm not poor when paper fails. And paper doesn't have to fail completely to fail. It can fail just a little bit at a time, and it does all the time. You see all those prices going up? They're not going up. When everything's going up, you're falling. The dollar is falling. Falling kind of sounds like failing. The dollar's probably not failing, though, because, you know, it's not really meant to be hoarded. The dollar is meant to be a medium of exchange. It's like a crypto exchange. You buy your Bitcoin, and you take it off of there. You don't want to spend too much time on the exchange. Just like you don't want to spend too much time holding exchange units. Dollars, they'll melt in your hand. So I make my exchanges, and if I want to hold some money, I hold silver, which is my money. So no, I don't invest in silver. I save in silver, and every time the system shakes, I'm glad I did. All right, I gotta go. Subscribe for more. That's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio, Wicked Show. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list.